Hey, welcome back. In the previous video, we covered the four key elements that make up the easy client attraction method and why it's so powerful in being able to consistently attract 5 to 15 premium clients every single month. So now we're going to dig into the first step, which is the power positioning formula. And it's going to help you to get from the best kept secret online to being the one and only incomparable solution for your audience. And you're probably here because you're a gifted coach, you're a consultant therapist or healer, and you have an amazing offer, and you know that you can deliver incredible results for your clients. But for some reason, you're struggling to get people to understand the value that you bring. And that's exactly why I want to show you the power positioning formula, which I said it's the key to clearly communicating your value because it really positions you as the one and the only solution so that premium clients actually line up to work with you, often at 3 to 10x higher prices than what you are charging right now or what you actually think is possible, right? But before we dive in, I just want to dispel one myth. And that myth is that most of what you have been told, and maybe even what I've been told or led to believe about standing out as an authority in the online space is actually completely wrong. Why is that? Because it's not really being seen by more people. It's actually about being incomparable and being the only obvious solution. Let's say this again. So it's not about being seen by more people because there's this battle about, posting every day, being seen by more people. It's being seen by the right people and also being incomparable with the right message and something that is truly different. And it's the obvious solution for them. Okay. And I know we've been told to do many more things like showing up live, being in more places, creating more content, share more free value, do webinars, launches, challenges, lead magnets, funnels. The list goes on, right? Everyone's being told to do that and stay on top of mind. But does it work for you? Is it really working for you? Or does it create constant hustle and grind to try and reach and stay at the top? Meaning you have to do actually harder work, right? It's harder to be seen consistently, and you have to do something different. You've got to be recognized and remembered, and that's the thing. So many coaches are actually not looking at their offer and are not really having some power positioning in place, and that's why they're frustrated, burnt out, and overwhelmed. So, in order to build instant authority, it's about magnetizing and attracting premium clients that are absolutely ready to invest. Because you are incomparable, you are that solution. So, if you look at everyone else in the marketplace, you are just going to be a commodity and you will be competing on price, with hundreds or thousands of other coaches in your space. That's what would, if you're not doing something about this. And it's just a constant hustle. So, what we do and what the solution is actually is very counterintuitive. We actually become incomparable by creating an innovative solution to an evergreen problem. So, you will then no longer be in that sea of sameness competing against everyone else. Meanwhile, we have created a framework where clients are actually lining up begging to work with us because our solution is proprietary and there's nothing out there that compares us to what we do and offer. So let's look at an example. Because every business owner really has two options. Option number one is we swim in the red ocean, basically, right? That means it's your saturated market where competition is fierce and you're fighting for attention. And you just have to shout louder and louder. And you're competing against these big players, the big coaches and consultants who have been established for many, many years. They have more resources and funds, and they can actually pay more money to acquire a client. That is the fact, that's reality. So you're in this red ocean, which is overcrowded, where all the other coaches and consultants and healers are fighting for every client, working harder and harder, constantly trying to develop new offers and permanently discounting their prices, which you don't want to do. You don't want to discount your prices, right? And I don't know about you, but to me, that really sounds exhausting because I've been there too and I've tried it and it's not worked. So, what's the other option? The other option is the blue ocean. So, we carve out our own blue ocean by pioneering our own way, by being the innovator and solving a problem in a way that no one else has done before. So now you're no longer comparable, you actually become incomparable, making your competition totally irrelevant. And in this blue ocean, you are the big shark. You are the solution people seek out, and people will line up to work with you and pay premium prices because there is no other option. Okay. So, this is exactly why people like the big ones like Amazon, Uber, Airbnb, they've actually been able to grow so quickly and cash in, and they're making billions because they've created a market of one. You know, if you think about it, Amazon is like instant delivery to your door. So there's no other solution like that. And now, you may not want to be as big as them, and obviously, but you can understand the concept and the reason why it works. And it's not really following anyone else. And these people are truly innovators in their market. And they really thought about what are our consumers, what do they really want? What's the ideal scenario for them? So creating your blue ocean can be absolutely tricky to figure out, and it can take years of research because it is about pioneering the market. And that's really where we can help with the heavy lifting, what we've created the power positioning formula, because it really helps you think about the gaps in the marketplace so that you can quickly develop your own proprietary methodology and to fill those gaps and create instant authority and command higher prices. And then that's when you have your own blue ocean. And the best part really is that your proprietary methodology not only allows you to fill the gaps in your marketplace, it also allows you to develop world-class messaging and positioning. So you never have to struggle to share value again. The biggest result is you go from being the best kept secret, lost in content creation and having to show up everywhere, getting on calls only to hear people say they cannot afford your services, to actually consistently waking up to direct messages and emails from potential clients who are actually saying, "Hey, I want to work with you. When can we start? You're just what I need right now." Right? That would be amazing, isn't it? To wake up to someone actually messaging you and getting all these calls that are ready, and those clients are already primed and they're ready to get started. You're no longer having to deal with the typical high competition strategy, and you're creating your own demand, as you are not comparable to anyone else. So we we help our clients build the proprietary methodology with powerful and magnetic messaging that's not only makes explaining what you do much easier, but it's really straightforward and clear so that your clients actually understand what the results are. So how do we do this? Let's look at an example. How does it really work? So there's three key components here. So number one, we obviously have to identify what the problem is. Like, that's nothing new. And we have to create a promise, right? So what are and paint that picture, that vivid picture of the results that they can actually really imagine themselves how it would feel if they have um, had that transition and if they can live that life. Like, for example, for a health coach, you may be helping them to lose weight, and people tend to talk about, um, do you want to lose weight, or you're overweight and that kind of thing. But actually, it's it's thinking, coming from a different perspective and thinking, well, the big result actually is that once people have lost weight, you may be looking much better and you can be confidently look good and wear those clothes that you have always wanted to wear, in the summer without actually worrying about what you look like, right? Or, even taking selfies and feeling confident and not having to delete the photos again and that kind of stuff. So be creative around painting that picture and really um, tell those stories, because the more specific you can be and the more specific you can actually talk clearly to the problem, um, then the better. Then the more they understand why they would want to work with you. And it's really about making your prospect think and recognize, yeah, I want to actually live that way, or I want to be that person. I want to feel that way. I want to look that way. That's really why you want to paint that vivid picture of the results. And then we can look at the gaps in the market, right? That really is how are things being delivered right now, but how can we deliver things differently? How are we doing things differently? And the truth is that your premium clients are already looking for a solution. They just haven't found something that they believe will fix it. They may have just found that samey same, or they may have already tried something that and then say, well, actually, this hasn't worked for me. A diet hasn't worked for me, right? So, and you might want to think, why a diet's not working? Is it the accountability? Is it because you have to count calories? Could it be expensive to buy all the different things for recipes? That's where you make yourself stand out, because you create your proprietary methodology that will use your natural skills and gifts. And you're now able to get clients those incredible results and doing it in a different way that they've never seen before. That's the key. So when you create this proprietary methodology, there is a few things that allows you to do. Firstly, leverages their desire, and you can leverage their desire and goals, which can be which we can obviously quickly pinpoint, and it compels to them to raise their hand to work with you. Positions you as the innovator, so you can create quick results and instant authority in your marketplace without the constant hustle. It also sets the standard in your industry and makes communicating your value easy and crystal clear, so that marketing your business takes less time and feels like less effort. And it probably also removes the struggle of trying to sell a really low end ticket item, right? The $27, the $97 products, because that's really how we've been told it's the way to grow. But I found, and many others I'm sure have found, that as a matter of fact, it's the same amount of work to sell a high ticket, like a premium product, as it is actually to sell a low ticket offer. And the question is, what would you choose? Sell one $27 ticket item, like program, where your client might not see the results and they may just watch a video and they have to fend for themselves, or something like a $3,000 program where they're totally invested in their own success. Obviously, they've paid much more money. They will show up to do the work, and they will be more likely to see the huge results. And in addition, you're hugely rewarded financially as well, and you are more likely to actually turn up and do the work. It just makes it so much more fun. It's so much more rewarding on both sides. And I was in the same place. I was also starting with low ticket, and I thought, well, it's a no-brainer. People probably not think about, investing 27 or $97. But even now I'm thinking to myself, when I'm seeing those kind of products, what is it really going to transform big time? Is it going to transform me and my business, or what I want to do big time? Is it? Because I've seen it all before. It's a couple of videos, even reading a book. Do you really go and apply this? Or is it working with a coach, working with someone who has the systems, the step-by-step process to make sure that you're getting the results, and investing a bit more, because long term it's worth it. It's well worth it, right? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. And once I put this right, obviously I moved from being compared on price to having people queue up to buy with me, no mention of a discount, right? because we all are hugely gifted. And how many years has it taken? How many hours has it taken and years, right, to learn what we know now so that we can help other people? And doing this really means that I started to earn more by actually doing less, which allowed me to build my lifestyle. And so the business can support me and not the other way around, because that's one of the main reasons why I started my business, is because I wanted more time freedom. I wanted to see my kids grow up and get out of the corporate grind. So it really comes from stepping out of that red ocean and being one of many options in the sea of sameness, but then moving into becoming an incomparable solution, right? And that helps you grow and scale your business, where you can really achieve greater results and stop having the feast and famine cycles as well, because you want to also build a consistent business. So building complicated funnels and consistently being on social media becomes also irrelevant for you, because you don't have to be on top of mind every time. What you do is, yes, you are visible, but you are visible with something that's completely different and totally stand out from the rest of the coaches and consultants out there. So people even start searching you out and coming to you because they understand what you do. They can even repeat your message, which allows you to create revenue while working less and being able to choose who you work with because you're in demand, because you have that amazing power positioning formula. So clearly the power positioning formula does work, which is exactly why I've shown you this method that we also use in our own business. And of course, we show that our clients too. And what we really want to do with this is to eliminate freebie seekers and the people who say, I can't afford it. Because you don't want to have those conversations and calls in your business anymore, because you want to actually become an incomparable solution in your industry. And that feels much better, right? So that means we've now covered how to create power positioning and clearly demonstrated how to communicate your massive value so that you can command higher prices for your services by being the only and incomparable solution. And next, I'm going to show you how we actually leverage this methodology and put it into a soap opera inspired mini-series framework. That's going to be the next video. So that actually will help you take your cold leads and turn them into hot raving fans and clients in under 7 days. So stay tuned.